Hello, my name is Bethany. I'm bethany.birdstitcher here on Flosstube and also on Instagram, and I hope you'll go over there and see what kind of projects I work on. And I thank you for being here. I know I met a lot of people at Midsummer Stitch, and so a lot of you are probably here from that. So I just wanted to start by saying thank you for watching and commenting. You're all very sweet and I appreciate it. I also wanted to mention at first, before I get going too far into the video, I deal with some chronic health problems, headaches a lot of the time, especially June and July. I had a lot of headaches and also some muscle weakness, which is as yet undiagnosed and unknown. But it's been affecting my face, neck, especially my eye muscles. So if you see my eyes doing weird things, just ignore it and focus on the stitching during this video, okay? Thanks. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Okay, so to start off, I have 3 stitches that I framed, and all of them are from Pigeon Coop Designs, his book, Cross Stitch in the Forest. And so I'll show you that to start off. But this is a lovely book, and I have stitched, I think, 7 designs out of this book, and I really love it. All of them are very fun. There are a lot of fun designs within the patterns, and it just makes for really fun stitching. So 3 of the ones I have to show you today are from that. And the first one I have is this one, which my husband said looks like you're looking into a window, or out of a window, at a beautiful forest scene, and I have to completely agree. This is one of my kids' favorites that I've finished out of his book, and I believe it's the largest pattern in his book. Oh, too much glare there. That's a little better. But I just love the colors in this. It's beautiful. And this is Sequoia Falls with the redwood trees that look like they're just growing up out of the frame and continue on for a long, long way up there. So I love that. I loved this stitch. And I don't have it here for how many days I worked on this, but it's in one of my previous videos. But it was a pretty fast stitch, all things considered. So that was the first one. And then I have a pair, which I actually borrowed the frame from this one. So you've seen it in the black frame, but I cut the mat down and put it in this to kind of make a pair here. So we have Rowdy J, also from Pigeon Coop Designs in that same book. And then this one is a start and a finish since my last Flosstube video, and this is Woodpecker at Work. I'm trying to get without the glare. And I love the way this turned out. Super, super sweet stitch, and we have woodpeckers that visit our bird feeders all the time, so I love these. So this is Rowdy J and Woodpecker at Work, and they are an adorable little pair that I put in these matching wood frames. So there's those 2, and then Sequoia Falls. A lot of fun. But those are my 3 fully finished. Let me just sit them down, and we'll keep going as far as we can. All right. So the next thing I have is Gold Among the Flowers. And this is a Mudpuppy Stitchery design that I started the end of June, June 30th. And I've worked on it. Okay, for the month of July, I made a new start every week. And the first week of July, I started this one, which was actually in June, technically. But this is, again, Gold Among the Flowers by Mudpuppy Stitchery. And I worked on it for the first week of July, and then on the weekends I had planned to work some on my model stitching for Mudpuppy Stitchery, but with the headaches and all, I didn't get to do that as often, or at least as much as I would have liked. But this is how far I got on this one, and I also worked on this Saturday and Sunday, so this past weekend. So it got 1 full week, and then it also got a couple days this last weekend. But I just love these flowers, And I was always afraid of white stitching because I've tried white stitching and it's not pleasant for me. But what I learned through stitching this is that I don't like tone on tone. So I don't like white on light fabrics, but white on teal, this dark teal, which is Rit dyed with teal, the color teal. And it's just an 18 count white Aida, and I Rit dyed it. And then it is so much more pleasant to do white stitching on a darker fabric. So now I know, and I don't have to be afraid of it anymore. But I just love the way these goldfinches are looking. It's stunning. And when it's finished, it's gonna be an amazing little stitch. So I've stitched on it for less than 2 weeks, but yeah, I love that one. That's one of my favorite whips currently going. Okay, oh, New Zealand Ruru owl. I didn't pull it out, did I? Okay. This is very professional. Sorry about that. All right. I thought I was prepared. I was trying to do this while I had energy. Okay, I don't have the cover page anymore. It's over there, but this is New Zealand Ruru Owl by Tiny Kiwi on Etsy. And this was a start on July 7th, and I finished it after 13 days of stitching. And this was a great piece to work on while I had headaches, because I could just fill in the blocks of color, and it was quite easy. The hardest part about it was the face, and honestly not even that hard, but I love the colors in it. So I stitched this on a 18 count Rit dyed yellow fabric, and I stitched it for my husband, who grew up in New Zealand. And I don't think I said that, or maybe, I don't know, but this is a New Zealand owl, also known as the moorpork. My husband loves owls, so this is for him. And moving on to the next new start was Woodpecker at Work, which I just showed you from Pigeon Coop Designs. And then and Woodpecker at Work I stitched on for 4 days. I don't think I said that before, but it was a very quick start and finish. And then I started this during the midsummer stitch. I did a lot of the meet and greets, what's it called? Speed dating. I did a lot of the whip speed dating. And I watched some of the videos and trying to go back and finish whatever I didn't watch before. So that was a lot of fun. That was my first virtual retreat, or any retreat at all. But it was a lot of fun, and I definitely would recommend it to anyone. I'm an introvert, obviously, and I have other stuff going on, and so I didn't think I would enjoy it. But once I got started and talked to 2 or 3 people, I was hooked, and then I was doing it as much as I could, especially on Saturday. I think I did all the speed dating sessions. So this is what I started and worked on during the midsummer stitch. And this is Swans from this book, Cross Stitch Happy Days, by the Japanese designer Kyoko Maruoka. Let me just flip to the page if I can get there quickly. Sorry. Okay, and this is a set of 2, and at some point I will stitch both, hopefully. But this is the swan here, and she's got her signets here on her back and everything. It's just a beautiful stitch. Again, I used Rit dye, bold blue, which isn't listed on their website anymore, so I'm not sure if it's changed its name or something, but this was bold blue. It might be more closely to denim blue, I'm not sure. So if you're looking for it, I'm sorry. But it matched it perfectly for the book's recommendation of fabric. And it's, again, 18 count. I think everything I have to show you today is 18 count. but I just love the blue, this bright turquoise color, and the water lilies. And then since Midsummer Stitch, I don't think I've worked on it. Maybe one day, but I don't remember exactly. And then, so I have one other new start, and then I'll try to remember to come back to that one, because that book also has another. Okay, so from Midsummer Stitch, I purchased 2 designs, and I'll show you the second one, but this is the first one, and I went ahead and made a start on it right away. Whoop, there we go. Okay, so it is Nighttime Owl by Tiny Modernist. It's this beautiful owl with leaves, mushrooms, the moon, flowers, a pretty moth over here. And for the month of August, there is a hashtag moth-along, which I will be using this stitch for, and also another one I'll show you in a minute. I haven't started that other one yet. This is Redtail. I combined aquamarine, bold blue, and teal to get this really pretty coloration going. And it's very similar to the recommended, maybe not quite as dark, but I was happy with it. So that's where I got with that. I think I only worked on it for 2 or 3 days. Dark fabrics are more tiring for my eyes, especially in the evenings, which is my usual time to get to stitch. And it just tires my eyes quickly. So because of that, I have to kind of pick and choose when I stitch what. Okay, so now we are Kestrel and Kiwi, which is sharing a bag with another stitch. And let's go ahead and pull this out. Nope, and of course I would do it upside down. So this shares a bag with my Gold Among the Flowers, and this is Kestrel Kiwi, and I am model stitching this for Kenzie. And I hope to make really great progress on it. I've finished all but the bird here. So I am working on this, and I love the colors in this, and I love the fabric. This is on 18 count mint from Picture This Plus, and I got it at 123stitch.com. And so here it is. Really, really gorgeous. The colors are amazing together. The design within the bird is just, I mean, look at the head. It's just gorgeous. And the kiwi down there, and the little fly. So since I had a lot of headaches in June and July, the main thing I've done in the past 2 months is try to finish the border. And I've finished the border for this one, this Kestrel Kiwi. I've finished the border completely. The only thing I have left to do is this part of the bird, the wings here, and the tail. And then this model stitch will be complete. So I'm really excited. I love working on that one. It's a light fabric, so it's easier for my eyes. So there's that. And then I have Cat Among the Thistles from Cross Stitch Happy Days again. And this is actually the model design, so I can just show it to you like that. Okay, and I'm changing it to look like my cat, which I've posted a picture on Instagram if you want to go see my cat Kaylee. And she's just a gray cat, so I will fill in the back with some gray and like a light caramel color. But I just love it on this wine grit dyed fabric. It just stands out and makes such a bold statement. And I'm probably going to finish that into a project bag that I will use for the other stitches I plan to do in this book, which are many. And then I have Redtail Raspberries. I can get it without a glare. There we go. And this is a gorgeous, gorgeous pattern. This is my first Mudpuppy Stitchery pattern that I started with. And after I finished model stitching cedar waxwing and a dogwood tree, I asked Kenzie if she wanted me to model stitch this, even though I'd already started it on a different fabric than her recommended, which was a light green, really pretty pastel green. I'd already started it on this, and she said that was fine. So this is on 18 count, it's not Rustico, I forget, but it's Hobby Lobby brand. because that's where I typically purchase my fabric. And it's got the oatmeal coloration in it. It's really pretty. But I just love this gorgeous Redtail hawk. I mean, who wouldn't? The raspberries, it's just stunning. All the detail within the bird, oh, I love it. And so I've been working the past 2 months, sorry about her. I've been working on it for the past 2 months, June and July, since with my headaches, I don't want to make any mistakes on a model stitch. So I've been working on the borders, which are a little bit easier, and trying to finish that off. But I still have a little bit left here in this row, and then there's bottom and top borders. I think there's something else here. Oh, there is. There's a little snake here. These Raptor and Fruit series have the Raptor's prey items on the stitch as well, which is really fun. And then once I finish the Raptor and Fruit series, at least the 2 that I'm model stitching currently, I'm going to frame them and hang them up in my kitchen, which is a birds and berry theme, so I'm really excited about that. And yes, I know Kestrel and Kiwi. Kiwis aren't berries, but I like kiwis. They're fun. So I'll totally count it. Okay. Sorry, I'm just checking my notes to make sure I didn't forget anything, okay? And then I think the last whip I worked on was from another book that was a birthday present. If I can get it lined up so I don't show you the pattern. And this is America the Beautiful cross stitch. And I love this book. It's got so many gorgeous designs. I'm trying not to show you the pattern, but it will look like this. And this is Glacier Bay. And it is just beautiful. All the blues in it are gorgeous. It's really fun, and it's a lot of fill-in, which makes for an easy stitch. It's dark fabric on white cloth. Again, makes for easy stitching when you're struggling, as apparently I am. So, okay. And then I have a 2-start stitch, which I will show you. Yes, the colors are down there, all but one. So let's get this out. Okay, sorry about that. And this is Wombat by Tiny Kiwi, and it's more of the block stitching. I have several of her designs, and I absolutely love them. They are so nice. Comfort stitching at its finest for headaches, brain fog, anything like that. So if you struggle with anything like that and you just want a quick, easy stitch, pick up a Tiny Kiwi pattern. So I dyed, sorry, a 18 count, and it's green. I forget the exact color of the Rit dye, sorry, but if you're curious, I can look it up for you. And then those are the colors. It's lots of browns, and then there's 761, which is missing from my bag because it's in another project. But when I started, I will add it in here, but it's only used for the noses of the little wombats. And I will be doing this as a stitch along, what is it called? Animal Weirdos Sal, or Weirdos Animal Sal. It goes one way or the other. But I'll be starting this for my middle child, and I'll be sharing that on Instagram. So if you're curious, you can go find it. Okay, and then, whew, we're getting there. Oh, I was going to mention, the starts and whips that I've worked on were, a lot of them I used for Laura Stitching by the Shore. She has an I Spy challenge that she does every month, and you just find the prompts within your stitching, and you can do it however loosely you want to, and then you just match your prompts up. You post your start and finish photos, and anybody can join that Facebook group. And then there's another Facebook group that I do that is a closed group, and it opens the end of the year for the following year, and you have to keep up with the challenges and games and things to earn points to stay in the group, to stay active in the group. But that's called Whip Warriors, and I'm doing categories for that. And last month I got 10 out of 12. For August, I have all of the prompts ready for both games. I have the 10 out of 10 ready for the I Spy. So if I can get them all stitched, I will complete both of those games this month. So we'll see. And then haul. So let me just set this closer where I can see it better. And I purchased just a lot of patterns, sorry. Recently, I haven't done much else with getting stash. But, okay, so I purchased, through the Midsummer Stitch, there were some exclusive designs and things. And so I purchased Nighttime Owl, which I've already started. And then I purchased Verdant Reverie from Sprouting Lupine, and let's see if we can do this without glare. There we go. I think that's the best. Okay, so it's these two patterns with the Luna Moth. Really, really pretty. And I'm not sure how and when I will stitch it, but at some point I will. I love that one. And then I have a freebie from Sprouting Lupine. If I can get it to load. Of course it's not going to load. Sorry. None of these are loading now. Oh. Okay, well, I guess I can just show you the little icon there. Okay, so this is Summer Wildflowers. You can't really see it, but this is a freebie from Sprouting Lupine, so you should go find it, download it, and stitch it. And then, because I finished those two bird patterns from Pigeon Coop Designs, and I've also finished this one over here, this is Heron at Dawn, I decided I needed some new ones. And then yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, Max Pigeon from Pigeon Coop Designs posted a coupon code, which you should totally go check out. Find him on Instagram and enter the code and get yourself some new patterns. I bought two. I bought Chili Chickadees, and I also bought Cormorant, which looks like it would pair very nicely with Heron at Dawn. So let's see if I can show you those two. There we go. So here's Chili Chickadees here. And I'm sorry these are so poor. I can't get my iPad to download them at the moment. And then Cormorant. And this one looks like the pair for Heron at Dawn. And I love this. This is beautiful. And then I also have a freebie here. And that's from Diana Bloom Designs. And that is Summer Silk Moth. And I will be stitching that, starting that and stitching it for hashtag Moth Along as well. So I will put all of that in the description if I can find everything and tag people. But I think that's about everything I had to share today. I shared the hashtags and things with you, so check the description if you're trying to find something. I will list the freebies, tag people in those freebies. And then I also wanted to mention a couple of Flosstubers that I met at the Midsummer Stitch, and so I'm gonna do that now too. Okay, so there's Sarah Ann, and she's Pocket Mama Shop. She has some designs and things, and I've watched her Flosstubes for a couple of months anyway, and I was really excited to get to meet her and spend 5 minutes with her and see her gorgeous setup. And she's also done a Flosstube of how she did this Midsummer Stitch, and that's really cool to see the behind the scenes and everything. I met I Stitch Birds, and that was a very fun experience. I'm sorry again for her. I Stitch Birds, she and I have a lot of the similar tastes, as you can probably tell from our names. But I had a lot of fun hanging out with her, and I think we even extended the time to just continue sharing and talking. As the whip turns, she had some beautiful stitches going on, and I follow her on Instagram now too to see what she's working on. And then I met Michael and Melanie from Uplift Stitches, and he is working on the Woodpecker at work right now, and he's the one who inspired me to stitch this on a blue fabric. So when their face popped up, their name and face popped up, talking to them at Midsummer Stitch, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was very excited, and from the other room my husband heard me and was wondering who I had met and talked to because my excitement just overflowed. But anyway, I was going to stitch it on a yellow fabric, and then I saw him stitching it on a light blue, and I was like, no, I've got to stitch it on light blue, and I switched it, and I am so glad I did because I love it. So thank you, Michael, again for your inspiration for stitching Woodpecker work. But I will tag all of them in the description as well, and I hope you'll go check them out. And I again apologize. I hope everything made sense, and the muscle weakness, facial weakness wasn't too distracting for you. I was going to ask two questions. One was, what is your favorite needle brand? Because I've started using a couple different ones. I like a 28 size needle or the petite needles, but I struggle to find them. So let me know what your favorite brand is so I can find something that won't break on me. I do the sewing method, and I bend up DMC branded needles. I bend up Artiste brand. Pretty much everything I've tried, I bend it up. And then eventually it weakens and breaks. So I assume it's just the way I'm stitching, but if you're also a sewing stitcher, let me know what you use. I had another question, but I don't remember it, so maybe if I can remember it, I'll put it in the description and try to get your help on that. So, okay. I thank you for coming and watching and commenting and being here and just supporting other stitchers. It's so much fun. And if you're going through anything with your health, mental health, anything like that, send me a message on Instagram and let me know. I'd love to be there to support you and encourage you. I can't necessarily do a lot of stitching, but I do try to keep going with things, and I love to support other people and encourage them too. So I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a very wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.